Hello. My name's RaisorBlade. And I just saw the Emoji movie. In glorious 3D. Yeah, because they made that shit way better, didn't it? I mean, what were you expecting? It's the fucking Emoji movie. Like, okay, Jesus. The Emoji movie sucks. Like, holy shit, it sucks. I mean, I'm sorry, what were you expecting out of this? I mean, holy fuck. Like, I mean, okay. I wanted to give this movie the benefit of the doubt, okay? Because I'm a guy who thought, like, I remember watching the movie Up for the first time. When I first saw the trailer for Up, I thought it was going to suck. Alright, despite being made from Pixar. I thought it was going to suck. But then I watched it, it turned out to be probably one of their best movies, period. So yeah, I'm willing to give a movie the benefit of the doubt. And you know what? I went and gave the Emoji movie the benefit of the doubt. Alright? I wanted to give it a chance. Alright? That's why I went and saw it. But at the same time, I couldn't help but ignore the fact that it's still a movie about emojis. They make references to shit like Candy Crush, and like Spotify, and Facebook, and YouTube, and Instagram, and it's a movie about a phone! A smartphone! And it's made from Sony, of all people. I mean, if maybe Pixar or something like that were to make a movie like this, then maybe, just maybe they'd pull it off. But no. It's made from Sony. Sony, the guys who fucked up Spider-Man, the guys who basically made a bunch of shitty movies and all that kind of crap. So, yeah, big fucking shock, it sucks. It only has a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, where the description isn't even a description. It's literally like an emoji itself with just a giant circle and a slash through it saying, don't go watch this movie. I'm surprised there's no poop emoji icon. That would have been great. So yeah, I went and saw this movie tonight in 3D because it was like the only showing they had tonight. Yeah, they only showed this movie once tonight, basically, I think. And it was in 3D. And a few people showed up in the theater with me. I was the first one there. I was all by myself. And yeah, it was just me. There were two families behind me. One, a mother and a son. There was a normal family behind me, like a mom and dad and two kids. I don't mean normal, like, as in, yeah, whatever, I take it back, whatever, fucking. There's, two parents. There was this couple over here that made me feel a little better. Like, this normal couple over there just sitting there by themselves, no kids whatsoever, so that made me feel a little better. But they were a couple, and I'm by myself, a 22-year-old man watching the Emoji movie. Yeah. But enough about that. Basically, yeah, I wasted $8 and an hour and a half of my life watching the Emoji movie. And it sucked. It sucked hard, and I hated every minute of it. So basically, what are my thoughts on it? Well, I just said it, I hated it. Basically, the poop emoji, angry emoji, disappointed emoji. Basically, all those kind of things. But, I cannot review this movie without spoiling the fuck out of it. That's right. I am going to spoil the fuck out of the Emoji movie because I don't care. Alright? This movie is absolute shit. Alright? This movie's garbage. Alright? I don't want anyone to see it. Now, if for some unknown reason you really want to go see the Emoji movie, probably just to see how bad it could be, then be my guess. Alright? Alright, God bless you. But, yeah. I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for your sake because fuck, no one needs to see this piece of pandering, soulless fucking garbage. That's what this movie is. Soulless, pandering garbage. So, let's begin. The movie begins with talking about the wonders of the universe and how freaking amazing and fantastic everything is. And then they cut to why it's so great. Because of the invention known as the smartphone. Oh yeah, just how fucking great the smartphone is. Oh, glorious smartphone. Oh, fuck yeah. And then they go ahead and say why the smartphone is so great because it created emojis. And this is a literal line from the movie. Emojis are the greatest method of communication ever invented. I am not making that up. That is literally the first line of that's one of the first lines of dialogue in this entire movie. And immediately you get like a gut feeling, like you get this huge pain in your gut that's like, oh fuck, this movie is gonna be awful. So we cut to this high school where all the kids have phones. Like, I mean, okay, I get it's 2017, but when I was in high school, I didn't have a fancy phone. Not at least for the most part. It wasn't until like senior year that I got I actually got a decent phone. But most of high school, I had this really cheap flip phone that like you can only call your mother and shit like that. And if you wanted to text people and stuff like that, you had to hit like the number button like 4 times to get a certain number. Like if you want to say like a C, you had to hit the 1 key like 3 or 4 times in order to get the C button or the C letter basically. That's basically what the phone I had. But no, nobody has some cheap knockoff phone in this Sony picture. No, it's a smartphone. Everybody's got to have smartphones because they're just the coolest fucking thing in the world. So then we go inside the phone of this boy named Alex, where we see the world of Textopolis, where we see that all the emojis have their designation, where basically they're this type of emoji, this is who they are, this is what they have to do, basically. Alright, we see a Christmas tree, and that's what he is. He's a Christmas theme. Alright, we see some Asian things. I don't know what they do. There's some Asian emojis, because I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. So then we meet our main character named Gene, who is a meh, basically. And for some reason, he can do other emotions. Why can he do this? We'll figure out later, okay? So we basically get to see the world of Textopolis, which is very boring looking, very generic kind of in a way. It's not like Lego Movie or Inside Out where there's a lot of creation or colors or imaginative flair, nothing like that. No, it's your basic typical city, nothing creative about it whatsoever. The jokes in this movie are also pretty piss poor. There's a scene where Gene walks into this group of letters. And yeah, get it? Letters are the elderly. Yeah, because nobody uses letters anymore in texting anymore. Why would they? What normal human being uses normal words to text anymore? Or to talk anymore? Yeah, no. You don't use words anymore. Words aren't cool anymore. That's another line in this movie, by the way. Words aren't cool anymore. Emojis are cool, alright? I should do this whole entire review with just emojis. Angry face, angry face, angry face, angry face, poop. So anyway, he knocks over the letters, and get this. One of them says, oh my colon. Oh my colon. Because that's the thing you see on your keyboard. A colon. Get it? So yeah, it's Gene's first day of work, and he's super excited to be part of it, and his parents don't think he can do it, and so we have insert cliche number 37. We have the disappointed parents that don't understand him, along with the fact that Gene, because he can emote so well, he's a freak. He's considered as a freak. He's an outcast. Nobody likes him whatsoever. Nobody likes him whatsoever. Everybody just hates him and shit like that. They shit all over him every chance they get, basically. This world is really mean in a way, and we'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. This is a basic, big, giant cliche in a movie right here. You have basically the outcast story, the disappointed parents who don't want to listen story, and you also have the corporate business villain, because, yeah, we need one of those in this movie. So, yeah, there's this corporate smiley face woman named Smiley. That's her name, Smiley, voiced by Maya Rudolph. Which, by the way, guys, stop putting Maya Rudolph in bad animated movies. Like, fucking seriously? Like, come on. For Strange Magic, now this? Like, come on, she's really funny. She's genuinely really funny. I like her. So, anyway, let's, anyway. So, yeah, Smiley is in charge of the entire emoji world, basically, because movie, I guess. And, yeah. So, yeah, Gene is selected to be the next emoji to be going in the text message, and he suddenly flips out. For, like, no reason. He suddenly, out of nowhere, has a spastic. It's like he has a spastic attack out of nowhere. And I don't know why. He hasn't done anything like that earlier in the movie. I know it's like the first 5 minutes, but yeah. And he doesn't do anything like that for the rest of the movie. He just suddenly had a spastic attack. Out of fucking nowhere. Okay. So yeah. Because he fucked up, they try to kill him for it. Like, dude, I'm not kidding. They straight up try to destroy him because he's considered a malfunction. Yeah, so they try to kill him right away for fucking up once. Even though he's basically an adult, he's been doing that his whole life. You figure someone would have caught on earlier and tried to destroy him earlier. I don't know. It's weird. So So yeah, while trying to escape, he runs into this person called High Five, who is essentially a British Patrick Star, and it brings up a good question. Basically, High Five is a high five emoji, but here's the thing. Why is High Five simply named High Five, but Gene a meh emoji named Gene? So Gene runs into this guy named High Five, who not only is the comic relief, but is also a bit of an egotistical dick, essentially. And he wants to become #1 emoji on the phone because, you know, he used to be once upon a time. So he decides to help Gene get to this person named Jailbreak who can help them. So they leave Textopolis and go into the magical phone where they see all the great apps like Facebook and YouTube and all that kind of great stuff, basically. They go into this one app. I don't remember what it's called because I'm a normal human being who doesn't give a rat's ass about apps on a phone. And basically it's an app where a teenage boy can hide things from his parents. And yeah, for some reason they don't show porn. Yeah. I mean, okay, I get it's a kid's movie, but there's not even, like, a subtle joke about it. There's nothing subtle about it. Like, they don't even have a scene where he's like, ooh, what's behind this door? And he's like, no, you don't want to see behind there. That's off limits for you. Or nothing like that. Nothing subtle that would hint that maybe a 14-year-old boy has been looking at porn. Because, you know, what teenage boy wouldn't be interested in porn? Not in this kid's movie, apparently. So, yeah. While they're in this place, they meet up with, So while in this app, which is supposedly full of things that a teenager shouldn't be showing his parents, what do we see? We hear Motley Crue playing. Basically, that's it. We see Motley Crue playing. And we see trolls? Yeah, like internet trolls. Like the kind that, like, they make fun of you on the internet because you can't do anything about it. Like, why is that in a phone? It doesn't make any sense. You also see stuff like a spamware and like a Trojan. Get it? Like Trojans. Trojan malware and shit like that. It's just, it's kind of stupid. Not very clever whatsoever. They don't even do anything funny with it. It's just straight up, yeah, here's a spam envelope. Here's a Trojan. That's it. There's no joke to it. It's just, hey, look what's here. That's it. So, yeah, then they meet up with Jailbreak, who who is a hacker who can apparently reprogram it so that Gene is a normal meh and High Five can become #1. And she's voiced by Anna Faris. And I like Anna Faris. I think she can be funny if given the right role. Like, yeah, she can be good if she was given the right role, but no, not here. And not in most movies, which is kind of sad to say because I really do like her. But yeah, essentially, yeah. So then the virus bots that have been trying to kill Gene, which brings up a really good point. These are virus bots that are trying to kill Gene. All right. Basically, Smiley sent these virus bots to kill Gene. Virus bots are these things that protect the phone from viruses and infections and stuff like that. And it brings up the question: why are they trying to kill Gene? He's an emoji. So why are they taking orders from emojis then? Or why are they taking emotions from Smiley specifically? These are basically in the world of the phone. These the virus bots are basically the protection unit, but the emojis are just civilians in a normal city. Like, why are they following her orders? Because movie! They're basically Hell's Angels, basically defending the phone, and they just follow her orders because the movie says they need to. The movie says they need to. There needs to be a conflict, and Gene has to be chased by a villain because this movie really needs a villain. A movie about fucking emojis. So yeah, Jailbreak decides to help him because she's interested in the fact that Gene can change his face. She even asked the question, how can you do that? And Gene says, I don't know. I just can. Because movie. Actually, they give a bit of a half-assed explanation later in the movie about how he can do it, essentially. How he can change his emotion. Because his dad can do it. Then how can his dad do it? Because movie! So, yeah, they decide to work together. They fall into a game of Candy Crush, where they play a game of Candy Crush. And then they move along. Yeah. They don't do anything with it. They're in a game of Candy Crush. They play a game of Candy Crush, and that's it. Play Candy Crush! Play phones! So after their pointless game of Candy Crush, Jailbreak makes it clear that they have to get to a place called the Dropbox, which leads them to a cloud that is outside the phone. I don't get it. I don't know what the fuck it means. I don't know what... I mean, what does that even mean? Like, how do you go to a place outside the phone? How does an emoji that's inside the phone leave the phone itself? I don't get it either. It makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. So, yeah, they need to get to the Dropbox, and they have to take a shortcut, and they eventually end up in the Just Dance app. Which brings up a good question. Is that really a good app? Like, seriously, I thought Just Dance was a video game for, like, the Wii and stuff like that. Or, like, the PlayStation Move and stuff like that. I don't know. I never knew it was an app. Probably because I'm a living person who doesn't give a rat's ass about apps. Alright? I don't give a shit if Just Dance is an app, alright? Jesus Christ, this movie's so stupid. So, originally they're gonna just walk through the app because it's not on. But, then... High Five accidentally turns it on because he's the accidental clumsy comic relief, and that's who he is. He just does stupid shit all the time, basically. He's also kind of an asshole because he, you know, apparently he makes an excuse like, hey, I'm a big hand, there's a button. I have to push it. Because, yeah, you're an asshole. Anyway, so then now they're playing Just Dance, and get this. The tomboy girl can't dance because dancing is kind of girly. Because how many times have you ever seen that? How many other cliches do I need to point out? Aside from the outcast, the parents who don't give a shit, stupid comic relief, corporate business villain from the Lorax, now the tomboy girl who hates being a girl in general, even though there's nothing wrong with being a girl whatsoever. Oh, here's another cliche I think you guys want to see. Gene helps her out. Gene helps her become comfortable. They start falling in love because he's a boy and she's a girl. And that's how movies are made, ladies and gentlemen, because movie. So then the virus bots show up, and this is something that really confused me. Suddenly the app starts going off in the real world, where Alex and his friends are, basically. It goes off in the middle of class, and one thing I noticed is that everyone has their phone just kind of sitting there on their desk. Everyone just kind of has it there, sitting, like, right here. Like, right in the middle of the fucking open. And no one cares. Like, I remember when I was in high school, like... If you had a phone out for any reason whatsoever, it would be taken away from you. Like, no questions asked, it would get taken from you. Right there on the spot, and you get wrote up for it. But in this movie, yeah, they can just have their phones out. No one cares. If your teacher takes your phone away for you having it on your desk, then your teacher's just being an asshole. They're not trying to educate you or nothing. They don't want you to focus. They're just being dicks. So yeah, the phone just goes off in the real world, which is never explained how it works like that. Like in it's something from Wreck-It Ralph, because Wreck-It Ralph did it. By the way, they also did the Candy Crush thing because Wreck-It Ralph did it too, aside from just marketing Candy Crush. Wreck-It Ralph also had a candy-based world, so let's have this movie do a candy-based world, because why not? And also, when the video games did something in the video game world, it somehow interacted with the real world, so let's have the phone interact with the real world, because, yeah, let's just do that. God, this is worse than Fat Albert the movie. You know Fat Albert the movie where they left the TV show to come into the real world, even though Fat Albert is based on real life. Oh my God, I gotta review Fat Albert now. But for another day. That's for another day. But yeah, fuck. So because it's making a distraction, Alex deletes Just Dance and. Oh my God, is it the fucking scariest thing ever? Everyone in that app gets deleted. They fall into this giant pit, and the main Just Dance girl like flickers in and out of existence and shit. And it's like super scary. Like, oh my God, it's really fucking scary. So basically High Five gets deleted as well, and I guess Gene decides that High Five is his friend, and he has to go help him. Even though their Dropbox is right there, so he's able to convince Jailbreak to work with him, and yeah, so they go to the trash bin where High Five is being kept, and everything like that, and it's a giant trash bin, like because Inside Out did it. Yeah, remember Inside Out when they had the whole memory dump area where you'd fade out of existence after being there for too long? Remember? Yeah, you remember. So using a rope that Jailbreak just happens to have, they're able to get High Five out. And, yeah, they leave everyone else down there, like all the trolls, the Just Dance girl. They leave everyone down there to be erased eventually and die. Like, oh my god, that's awful. Like, holy crap. I mean, there are some dicks, there's some trolls down there that kind of, the virus down there to deserve it, but the Just Dance girl was just doing her thing. And meanwhile, there's this subplot going on where Gene's parents are looking for him, and they begin to have a dispute, apparently, and, like, marital problems, where they think, oh no, are they gonna divorce and shit? When in reality, it's so fucking pointless. Gene's mom goes into an Instagram app. Like, she looks at this picture of, like, the kid and his parents, who we never meet in this movie. Like, in fact, we barely see the kid in this movie, period. The kids in the real world get, like, maybe 4 minutes of screen time in general. Like, holy shit. I know Wreck-It Ralph, like, gave the humans, like, 3 or 4 minutes of screen time, but the story wasn't about them. We don't know anyone in the real world, alright? The movie is about the characters in the video game. I get that. But the world focuses so much on what Alex does in general that you figure Alex should have a bigger role in the movie. He doesn't. He's just a kid. We barely see him in the movie in general. So it's like, what the fuck? It's weird as fuck. It's weird. It really is weird. It's stupid. Gene's mom walks into the picture and get this. You know how in a picture you can see like this, like, okay, like you're looking at all of this right now. You're seeing like my Guardians of the Galaxy poster. You're seeing the Hobbit poster there. My mirror, that dirty pile of clothes right there. Yeah, this is all you're gonna be able to see in the video. So, but for Gene's mom, for some reason, she can see all of this as well. Like, I don't understand. How the fuck does that work? You can't do that with pictures. You can't do that with pictures whatsoever. You can't do that with pictures whatsoever. Yet she can look all around the picture somehow. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. At all. It's so stupid. So yeah, she and her husband make up. Again, it was totally pointless. We find out that Gene's dad can do it too. Can make multiple emotions, which we never asked the question how he can do it. He just can. Because movie. So then we cut back to the kids. We cut back to Gene, Jailbreak, and High Five, who are about to get into the Dropbox. But then Smiley sends a super virus bot after them because now she has a super virus bot. We get a bit of a fight scene, I suppose. And, but they escape in time. But then something really stupid happens, but I'll get to that in a second first. But for some reason, the virus bot can't go into the Dropbox because apparently it's legal malware. I don't get it either. I have no fucking clue how that works. But yeah, essentially the here's my ticket. Proof of the torture. Proof of the torture. Sorry about the distraction. So yeah, they finally make it to the Dropbox and they go to the oh shit, I forgot to mention the Spotify thing. In order to get to the trash bin, they have to go through Spotify, which is basically a river of sound, basically. Again, nothing happens. Nothing really happens. Just more flirting between Gene and Jailbreak. That's all that really happens, essentially. Yeah, so, yeah, nothing really to bring up there, except another marketing thing for Spotify. So, yeah, they make it through the Dropbox, and then they make it to the firewall, where Gene's use of his multiple expressions and stuff like that can come in handy, because apparently Jailbreak tried to get through the firewall before, but if you you have to have a password, and if you mess up once, you're banned for life, basically. So, yeah, Gene using multiple facial expressions means he can try multiple times. So, yeah, hilarity ensues. He keeps fucking up and all that good stuff. He keeps getting burnt alive and shit, because being burnt alive is super fucking funny, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so then they figure out that the password is the girl that Alex likes in real life. And they're able to get to the firewall, essentially. And they have that moment of like, oh, we're getting what we wanted. That's great. Oh, yay. Except I don't want it anymore. And it's that typical moment, cliche number 48. So then Gene decides to tell Jailbreak his feelings. And Jailbreak, for some reason, has to reject him because she had a plan. And For some reason, this turns Gene into a true man because he got his heart broken and fuck, I don't know, it's stupid. It's like, oh, so you mean it was always inside of him all along, I guess. It makes no fucking sense, really. Then the bot shows up in the Dropbox and takes him away, and Jailbreak and I5 have to go rescue him. Which brings the question, which this is the thing I was talking about that didn't make any sense. The virus bot for some reason cannot go into the Dropbox, but it goes into the normal inbox, and that somehow allows him to go into the Dropbox. Somehow, I don't get it. And how he escapes out of the Dropbox, I have no fucking idea. It makes no sense whatsoever. I don't get it at all. So, Jailbreak and Hi-Fi have to work together. And how do they get back? How do they save Gene? On a Twitter bird. They have to use Twitter. That's right. Because Twitter saves the day, once again. I don't even have a Twitter. That's how little I give a shit about this kind of stuff, basically. So, yeah. So basically, Smiley's about to erase Gene. Gene's parents just magically show up because they somehow know that Gene has been taken back there, I guess. And suddenly Smiley gets super evil and maniacal. It's like, fine, I'll erase anybody who gets in my way out of fucking nowhere, despite her constantly trying to save the phone from the malfunction and shit like that. And like, everyone's like, oh, this is a little too far. Everyone who is so okay with this plan suddenly out of nowhere decides, you know what, this might be going a little too far. Should we really just kill him for just doing something he's been doing his whole life? And I'm like, that's what I said at the beginning. Like none of you really gave a shit. I mean, you didn't like him, but you never really thought it was insulting or harmful or nothing. And now, out of nowhere, you're saying, oh well, he's not hurting anybody. Does he need to be killed? Apparently so. So yeah, Jailbreak and I5 save the day. They shut the robot off. So yeah, then it gets to the point where Alex made an appointment to where he's getting his entire phone erased. Because I'm sure a 14-year-old could totally do that by himself. I mean, okay, maybe he can. I don't know. I don't know. It sounds kind of weird that a 14-year-old could just go into a store and do something like that. You know, without his parents' permission or really having any money whatsoever. So anyway, Gene has to save the day because he can emote multiply. He can do multiple emotions and stuff like that. And guess what saves the day? Emojis. Texting. Texting is what saves the day because, yeah, that's fucking stupid. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. So yeah. Alex decides to stop the deletion of his phone. He likes the special emoji that Gene is. That can do multiple emojis at once. And yeah. He's able to ask that girl out to some dance and shit like that. They take selfies. They make duck faces. Yeah, they made a fucking duck face in this fucking shit. And everything is hunky-dory. It's a big happy ending. Everyone gets what they want. Oh, I should also mention the fact that Jailbreak is a princess emoji who is lying, who was wearing a wig all along. The reason why I didn't bring it up is because it didn't matter. It did not do a fucking thing. Alright? I could have left out the shit involving the Candy Crush, the Spotify, basically a lot of shit. And nothing would have been missed at all. You know what? This whole movie was unnecessary, basically. You know, if they wanted to make an emoji like the one that Gene became at the end of the movie, they could have just done that. But no, they needed to waste everyone's fucking time with this piece of shit movie. One of the most soulless, pandering pieces of shit I've ever seen. Alright, I've seen Norm of the North. I've seen Ice Age 5. This is up there with those two movies. Like, without a doubt, one of the most soulless, corporate, pandering, unimaginative, unfunny, boring, dull, kind of ugly, honestly, and just plain unnecessary movies I've ever seen in my life. The Emoji Movie is a fucking waste of time. You are wasting your money, your time, everything you are. You have nothing to accomplish with seeing this movie. Alright? The only thing I had to accomplish is the fact that people want to see me review this movie, they want to see me suffer, and guess what? They got it. So, you know, you guys are getting something out of me going to see it, but what did I get out of it? Torture! I went and got fucking torture. And here's the proof. The living proof that I went and saw this movie, and you can't... There it is. There you go. Yep, there's the living proof. Emoji movie. PG rated. More like NC-17. Make sure nobody ever sees this piece of shit ever again. Oh, fuck me. Oh. Emoji movie sucks, guys. It fucking sucks. It's so bad. Oh my god. Like, I mean, I can see people defending this movie, like trying to say it's not the worst thing ever. All it is a big long commercial. And I know what harm are commercials. And you know what I have to say? You know what? That's a good point. It is just a commercial. What's the harm in a commercial? Alright, we need them sometimes, okay? If not for commercials, we wouldn't know about great things like in the real world. Like, say, like a nice car or something like that. Or a nice shampoo to keep your hair clean and stuff like that. That's fine. But let me put it to you this way. What if, while watching Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, while in the beginning of the movie, when they're being chased by the Death Eaters, suddenly they decide to stop by an Olive Garden and get some free breadsticks and shit like that, huh? Yeah, how about that? Or maybe like in Star Wars The Force Awakens, out of fucking nowhere, they decided to stop and drink a nice ice-cold Pepsi. Or maybe, you know, hang on. Or maybe in The Lord of the Rings, while they're on their way to Mount Doom, they decide to stop at McDonald's and grab a sweet tea, you know? Damn, that's some good McDonald's. You know, why not just do some good corporate soulless shit like that, huh? Alright, look. If it wouldn't be okay in those movies, it can't be okay in other pieces of movies, period, okay? It can't be okay in any movie in general, alright? Like, fucking period, alright? It can't happen, alright? Why should we, if we can't make excuses for the best of the best, we can't accept the worst of the worst, alright? And that's all Emoji Movie is, essentially, alright? Okay, even if a movie were to have like a pop culture reference, like I mean, remember Garfield, the movie? Garfield had a shit ton of marketing in it, all right, and it's just as bad there as if it were to be in something like, say, Guardians of the Galaxy and shit. And I know, Guardians of the Galaxy did make pop culture references, but here's the thing: they actually did stuff with them. They actually made jokes about them. They don't just say, "Hey, Pac-Man exists." No, they do stuff with Pac-Man. They did something funny with Pac-Man. No, Garfield just said, "Hey, you ever been to Wendy's? You ever drink a Pepsi?" That's all they do with it. That's all they fucking do with it. And that's all this movie does. The movie is, hey, do you have a phone? Do you like emojis? You ever seen an emoji before? Well, then guess what? You've seen the Emoji Movie. Speaking of which, have you ever seen Wreck-It Ralph? Have you ever seen the movie Inside Out? Because if you have, then you've seen Emoji Movie. Only you've seen it 1,000 times better in both movies alone. That's it. This movie is nothing but cliches, soulless pandering, marketing, and unfunny humor that is a complete waste of your time. This movie is awful. This movie fucking sucks. It's fucking abysmal. I can't stand this movie, and I'm done talking about it. Alright? I'm done talking about this movie. It sucks. It fucking sucks. I kept the 3D glasses because this movie owed me something. Alright? It took a piece of my soul, man. It took something out of me. Something I'm never going to get back. And it wasn't just $8 and an hour and a half of my time. It was a chunk of my soul. And I hope you guys appreciate what I did for you guys. The sacrifice I made for you guys. My name is RaisorBlade, and as always, rock on. And please don't make emojis the #1 way to communicate. Please don't.